guys, it's 12:40 in the afternoon. What I've done is replace the hose. I went and got one of the hoses I had made up the other day, had a wrong fitting on it, my bad. But I got that replaced. That was the one that was really shooting fluid. I got this to work. WD-40 is amazing. I'm not promoting or advertising, but it is amazing. I shot some in there. Within an hour or two, it's working fine. I lubed up everything. I lubed up the chain. I hit any grease zerks that where I could. Some are better than others. Some won't take fluid, grease. Everything works. Everything works. I put a blade on. I got it tracking. I have not fired up the engine. That is a horrible, horrible mess. The blades, when they fly off, rip and tear the plastic shroud. So the previous owner made some plywood replacements, but there was nothing really much left to hold it together. So I used a strap, which is not greatly convenient for changing blades, but for now, it's what I got. So I've got a blade on, and I haven't fired it up. I don't even know how this is gonna work. Oh, there's a wrench. Do a last walk around. I'm gonna fire up the engine, and I know the hydraulics work, but I'll show you. And then after lunch, I'll get a log on. Right now, I'm trying to measure and find out where the blade sits at 1 inch. Oh, I can go higher. I have to make sure that this is square, and I'm not sure that it is. The blade has to be square to the crossbunk. Here it's almost an inch, and here it's less, and that is not going to be fun to adjust on this. So I've been working on the measuring tape for quite a while. It seems to be sort of bent out of shape a little bit. So this holds in here, and nothing seems really happy. I think this plate has been bent. I'm pretty sure it's been bent, because they don't really mesh together. I'm going to have to bend that back to where it's supposed to be. And then the plexiglass plate, I keep forgetting to order one. So what I've done is I scribed it. You can see where the original red line sort of is. I scribed it with a knife and a straight edge. And I tried to wipe, then I hit it with a marker. Maybe that wasn't so wise. But it left me with, I don't know if you can really see it. It does leave a line in there that I can see if I hold it up against something white. It does leave a line in there I can see. It's improvised, but this is all a mess. So I still haven't sawed a log. I need to sort of get this bent back into shape a little bit better. I hope I can. So it's not fighting each other, because all the force was on this piece of plexiglass and pushing it back. And also, the ruler was destroyed, so I bought a ruler online. I'm not sure how much I like it yet, because it's not strongly magnetic. Where the sticker is thicker, that's not funny, it curls and wants to stay. It came rolled up, which is understandable. I'm hoping it'll straighten itself out better and stay in place, because if I have pressure in here, it's going to want to snag, and it's going to rub off my ruler anyway. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. I'm not going to bore you with all the adjustments and details and trying and attempts, but I'm going to try to get that done. Alright guys, I've been tweaking and adjusting on there. I've ordered the new system because this is wrecked. I've got it set up somewhat, sort of. I've got to figure out where 1 inch is yet, and then I'm going to load a log on here. I just want to see how it cuts. It is not square, it's a little bit higher on this side than this side. So what's going to happen is my edges are going to be off. There'll be a little bit of an angle. But with rough sawn lumber, I generally try to cut a little oversized anyway on the width and re-saw it later once it's dry. So that won't be an issue. If I have slight angles on the edges of a board, but as long as the blade cuts straight and consistently every inch, then and it's 1 inch thick throughout, for today, it'll be okay. I'll do the adjustments later, and then I'll get square cuts. I just want to see this thing run and see if it'll cut and how fast it's going to cut. One thing I see that I don't have a way to put a 4-footer on. I wanted to run some oak. I have some 4-foot oversized, but with this setup I can't. So I'm going to put an 8-foot pine on here and run it and see what happens.
a learning curve.
So it cuts clean. Wow. There are no, well, there's barely any markings in that wood. That cuts clean. This is going to take me some time to get used to. Now, I stopped cutting because the scale is destroyed below this mark. I can't read the measurements on the scale. I have a new one coming, but that's going to take a few days to get here. So, oops, I forgot to turn off the water. Right up in there, the scale gets really hazy. I can't tell what's what right there. So that's where the last one was a 1/2 inch, I think. It was something. I don't know what it was. I burnt quite a bit of fuel, a noticeable amount of fuel in those few minutes. Because of how loud this is, I cannot hear this. You may notice, and I'm sure I'll see editing, that I probably don't have that running at the right RPM. I can't tell, I can't hear a thing. So that's an issue. I can't hear that. This is a pretty quiet motor for the size of it especially. This is crazy loud, so I have to have hearing protection. But I can't hear anything over this. So I can't tell what speed that's cutting at. So it's going to be a learning curve on adjusting that too for the right engine speed. I might need an RPM indicator over here on my control box. I'm going to get a voltage meter because I have no idea what my battery's doing. Shut them off for the night. The drive works. It cuts. It cuts clean. It cuts beautiful. I have some learning to do on how to rotate logs, as you can tell, but it's my first time ever with hydraulics. Well, this type, I've had a hydraulic circular sawmill. You guys may remember. Briefly, I had one. But this is different because I have here, this lifts up and can rotate a log in either direction. But you can also use the log clamp and get up under there and use that to nudge and rotate the log. But I've got to use 2 fingers, 2 valves, and I'll get it. This is my first time. You just watched live my first cuts ever. But anyway, you got to sort of move up and ease backwards as you're going and flip that log over. It's going to take some practice. But I made sawdust. That is a good feeling. I made sawdust. That's it for today, guys. My hack job mess. I called on these. The whole cover is going to be like between $500 and $700. He said like $650, $700 with tax and shipping out the door to get the whole complete. Because this is a mess. The whole complete protective cover, which eventually I'm going to want to get, has been cut to pieces on here, and I think it's a good investment for a mill like this to have that replaced. I also noticed I was not blowing sawdust, so there's something blocked up in here. He had an extension on here and he had a blower, so a dust collector, so I'm going to have to open that up and clean it out and see what's going on there. But it runs, it works, and it's cutting. The blade is cool to the touch. It's been off for a couple minutes, but still, the bearings are warm but not hot, as you would expect. I think it's going to be a good machine for me once I learn everything. Well, guys, please subscribe. Got more videos to come. Like this video and hit that bell icon for notifications of future uploads. There's a lot more left to do to get this ready. Well, that was the first cuts. Talk to y'all later.